United States and Iran have come to a tentative agreement aimed at concluding the ongoing conflict and reopening the Strait of Hormuz. The signing of this agreement is scheduled for June 19th in Switzerland. Nonetheless, previous declarations have not materialized, and the specifics of the agreement remain a matter of contention. Days ago, Iran engaged in crossfire with both the US and Israel, raising concerns that the region could spiral back into a widespread war. The conflict initiated by the US and Israel on February 28th has unsettled the area and nearly halted the transport of oil and natural gas from the Persian Gulf. Since April 7th, a delicate ceasefire has been holding. One pressing question that remains unanswered is the future of the US military footprint in the Gulf region. Here's all you need to know. For many years, American strategy in the Middle East has been anchored in a straightforward idea. The forward deployment of US military forces is intended to dissuade opponents, primarily Iran, and provide protection to host nations in the event of an assault. However, in the current landscape, maintaining this idea has become progressively more challenging. A succession of Iranian attacks and menacing warnings aimed at essential infrastructure has highlighted an increasing disparity between the assurances of safety and the stark truth of risk. Rather than providing a shield for the nations in the Persian Gulf, the presence of US military forces has, in fact, heightened their susceptibility to threats. As per the Quincy Institute, the United States maintains a dense network of military facilities across the Gulf, each with distinct operational roles but a shared strategic purpose that dates back to the Cold War, deterring Russia and now China, projecting power and maintaining influence over natural resources like oil and natural gas. The US Navy's Fifth Fleet is headquartered at the Naval Support Activity in Bahrain, a critical hub for maritime operations in the Persian Gulf and its surrounding waters. Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar is the largest US military facility in the region, serving as the forward headquarters for US Central Command and a key node for air operations. The United Arab Emirates hosts Al Dhafra Air Base, an aviation hub that supports intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance missions, as well as advanced fighter deployments. Kuwait hosts the largest number of US bases in the region, including Camp Arifjan, Camp Behring, Ali Al-Salem Air Base, and Ahmad Al-Jaber Air Base, with thousands of personnel, including contractors, stationed there. Facilities such as Camp Arifjan also function as logistical hubs and staging grounds for ground forces. Meanwhile, in Saudi Arabia, installations like Prince Sultan Air Base have been reactivated to support air and missile defense operations. Taken together, this network represents one of the most extensive forward deployments of US military power anywhere in the world. In theory, it provides layered deterrence. Naval forces secure sea lanes, air assets enable rapid response, and ground forces offer reinforcement capacity. Think tank analysts say this architecture reflects a model of deterrence built around conventional superiority, in which forward presence, rapid strike capability, and the threat of escalation would dissuade adversaries from initiating attacks. In practice, however, this architecture has struggled to keep pace with the evolving threat landscape. The issue is not the absence of power, but a growing mismatch between how US forces are structured and how Iran chooses to challenge them. Iran's strategy has adapted to the asymmetries of the regional balance by relying on drones, cruise missiles, and proxy forces to conduct precise strikes and circumvent US strengths. Let's now analyze some aspects of the tentative US-Iran deal. A 60-day period would address Iran's nuclear program, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi announced that the specifics regarding Iran's nuclear program will be finalized within 60 days following the signing of the initial agreement, with the possibility for the involved parties to extend this timeframe if they choose. Concerns from the United States and Israel center around the potential for Iran's nuclear program to develop an atomic weapon, a primary justification their leaders have presented for engaging in military action. While Tehran maintains that its nuclear endeavors are for peaceful purposes, it possesses a sufficient amount of highly enriched uranium that could enable it to create multiple atomic bombs if it decides to pursue that path. US officials have stated that the 60-day period following the agreement will be dedicated to resolving the technical aspects of uranium removal. Iran, on the other hand, has made it clear that it intends to retain its uranium stockpile. It is believed that Iran's uranium is currently located beneath 3 nuclear facilities that were damaged by US strikes in the previous year. All eyes are on the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's Foreign Minister Araghchi expressed the country's desire for an agreement that would enable Tehran to impose fees on ships for services rendered while they navigate the strait. During the conflict, Iran imposed charges on vessels for their passage, a move that the United States and other countries have claimed breaches international law. Historically, the strait has been recognized as international waters, despite being located within the territorial boundaries of Iran and Oman. The movement of vessels through the strait, a crucial route for oil and natural gas transportation, has caused disturbances in global energy supplies, increased fuel prices, and led to higher costs for essential goods like food and fertilizers, affecting regions far beyond the immediate area. The US-Iran agreement would include Iranian sanctions relief. According to regional officials, the agreement is anticipated to feature a gradual removal of sanctions imposed on Iran, along with the unfreezing of Iranian assets that have been held back. Last but not least, what will happen to Lebanon remains unclear. Iran has made it clear that any agreement must encompass a ceasefire in Lebanon, where Israel has been engaged in conflict with the Hezbollah militant organization. In response, Defense Minister Katz cautioned that Israel retains the ability to take unilateral actions against Iran and emphasized that the nation has no plans to retreat from its occupied territories in Lebanon, Syria, and Gaza, nor will it disengage from the northern refugee camps in the West Bank.